Hello and welcome back to the Introvert Circus. I'm Sassafras and this is Sirius. And today's Vlogmas video is a requested video, which is going to be me really quickly talking about the precautions we take against bloat. So I just want to start by saying what I think is probably obvious, but it's really important to say I am not a veterinarian. I don't play a veterinarian on the internet. This is absolutely not veterinary advice. This is just what my experience is having a giant breed dog who, by virtue of being a giant, is predisposed to a very scary life-threatening condition called bloat. So if you are not familiar with bloat, absolutely, please do research, talk to your veterinarian, but bloat is a condition that involves the stomach filling up with gas, liquid food, and contorting onto itself. This is an emergency, life-threatening situation where dogs who are bloating need to be seen by a vet immediately, generally for a surgical intervention. And if not treated, it is fatal. Bloat is one of those things that I am absolutely fanatic about trying to prevent and that I am absolutely terrified of. So one of my first experiences ever hearing of bloat, and it is permanently seared in my mind, was I was a dog-obsessed kid, and I remember there being an episode of like ER Vets, I can't remember what the show was called, on Animal Planet in the mid-90s, and a large barrel-chested dog, I believe it was a Weimaraner, came in bloating, and the ER vet had to, I believe the dog did survive, but there was a whole walkthrough of what it was, how to prevent it. And I had small breed dogs at the time. I was a kid, but it seared in my mind from that moment forward. And so now having large breed dogs, I am really fanatic about bloat. So there's a lot of different opinions out there about how you can prevent bloat, what causes bloat. Generally, it is large breed dogs, like barrel-chested breeds, that are most prone to bloat. There believed to be some genetic components to it. So my prevention takes a variety of forms. Bloat, while it is something that Newfoundlands can experience, it is not common in her line genetically. I believe from talking to her breeder that there has only been one or two, I believe one bloat in her line. It was a non-fatal bloat, and her breeder has been in Newfs for over 40 years. So those are some pretty good genetic odds, but that doesn't mean anybody can be complacent if you have a breed or size of dog that is prone to bloat. So part of, for me, being a responsible dog guardian is being really aware of everything I can do to help protect her from bloat. And if you are one of my pet sitters, you know how fanatic I am about safety around bloat. So one of the things that can cause bloat is exercise right before, right after eating. So that means anytime she's going to be getting a meal, she goes out to potty on leash for an hour, 2 hours before and after eating. She's a dog that likes to potty right after she eats, which is great, but we go out on leash. Even though we have a beautiful fenced backyard, that is not a time that I want to take a chance that there are squirrels or anything that she's going to decide she wants to run, chase, bounce about. So we always are on leash anytime in the time surrounding eating. Similarly, if we have gotten up and we've, in a pre-COVID time, maybe gone on an outing, gone to the river, anything like that early in the morning, we come home and we chill and we rest for an extended period of time before she eats. That's something that's really important, is making sure that she has chill time before and after meals, which can prevent bloat. The biggest thing that we've done to prevent bloat is that she's had a procedure called a Gastropexy, which is a surgical procedure that is done increasingly commonly, but particularly with giant breeds. And it actually, part of her stomach is tacked onto her abdominal wall. And it is a procedure that is preventative for bloat. It doesn't prevent or make it impossible for a dog who's had a Gastropexy to bloat, but it does significantly decrease the likelihood that if they bloat, it will be fatal, and it does decrease the likelihood that they will bloat. So it's something that, obviously I'm not a vet. Talk to your vet, talk to your breeder, make an informed decision that's right for your dog. That's what we did. And it was absolutely the right decision. It just offers a little bit of extra protection, a little bit extra peace of mind about her safety around bloating. We made the decision to do the Pexy when she was being spayed, again, at the recommendation of our vet, who was incredibly experienced with giant breed dogs, also connected with her breeder before we made the decision to Pexy, and it was just an added bit of protection. And because doing a spay was already involving going into her abdomen, it made sense just to do it at the same time. So we had one recovery period, and she healed up wonderfully from that Pexy. So I'm really glad that we did that. The other thing that we do, in addition to limiting exercise around feeding, is that she eats food that has been soaked in water. So she eats a high quality kibble, and I soak that kibble before she eats it, which softens it up. She's not a very fast eater, but I do also feed her now. She just got a new puzzle bowl for Christmas. She got to open a Christmas present early. So I'm actually going to show you her feeding routine right here. And that was just something I added in mostly for enrichment because she likes any kind of brain game like that, and I really liked that puzzle bowl and thought that it would be a fun addition to mealtime for her, but it does have the added benefit that it slows down eating, which can prevent bloat. So as you can see here, I have her puzzle bowl, and I am just going to fill it up with 3 scoops of kibble. I like to try to get it spread as much as I can throughout the puzzle so that it will be easier for me to soak and make it a little more enriching and interesting for her to eat. So I just sprinkle that around. You can see Thing down there waiting for his breakfast as well. And then I just put water on it and let it sit for a few minutes. It soaks up pretty quickly, which is great. And then I just add a dollop of whole yogurt on it, which is something she gets as part of her breakfast. Trying to mix that around didn't go very smoothly, as you can see, and so I end up, instead of wasting the yogurt, I end up letting her just lick the spoon. She's perfectly happy to help me out with that part of the process.
Breakfast. Hi, baby. Cheers. Good girl. Wait. Good girl. Lie down. Good. Sit. Wait. Sit. 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 Good. Banana. Pineapple. Operate. Good girl.
There are different schools of thought about whether elevated bowls are good or bad for bloat. I'm in the camp, after talking to our vets and vet specialists, to not use elevated bowls. But there are different schools of thought about that, and that's something that different people do. I don't do that because it's not what my vets recommend would be the right decision for her. But those are the big things that we do to prevent bloat. So it is limiting exercise around meal times. Meal times are really chill times. We soak food, and she's had the Gastropexy. Those are the big things. So yeah, let me know in the comments if bloat is something that you worry about, if it's something you think about. I'd love to know. As I said, I am totally obsessed with trying to prevent bloat. I have, anytime we travel and we have a pet sitter here with her, I have a symptoms of bloat to watch for that is really clearly breaks down what you're looking for. I think it came from the American Veterinary Association, of what the symptoms to look for are, and then that you need to go immediately to the emergency vet. And I always post that above where her food is stored. And I talk to our pet sitter extensively about bloat, but bloat is one of those things that I very, very, very much am conscious of and think about having a giant breed dog. So I'd love to know if it's something that is also on your mind. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you have any video requests, and we will see you for another Vlogmas video tomorrow.